This week we read a portion of Behar and Bechukotal. A double portion. We conclude the book of Vayikra. Tomorrow, after the Torah reading, we'll cry out, Chazak, Chazak, when it's Chazak, let us be strong, well, let us strengthen ourselves to go on to the next book of Bamidbar. Behar, in the opening verses, talks about the laws of Shemitah, the sabbatical year, where after working the land for 6 years, Torah tells us, the Shav Sa'aretz Shabbos Hashem, the earth has to rest, a Shabbos to God. We're not permitted to work the land. The Zohar tells us that just like the land has to rest, so too people have to rest. And therefore, when one buys a Jewish slave, as the Torah tells us in the Parshat Mishpatim, in the 7th year, the slave goes free. When you buy a slave, he only works for 6 years. 7th year is free. Just like the land has to rest, so too humans have to rest. And we focus a lot on the sabbatical year. People are trying to understand it. Some say, well, if you give the land a rest, the produce later in the 8th and 9th year will be that much stronger, which doesn't exactly coincide with what the Torah tells us, that in the 6th year there'll be, not only for the 6th year, but will supply the 7th and even sometimes the 8th year as well. So it can't be that the land needs a rest. And there's no real answer and explanation why Torah gave us the mitzvah of Shemitah, the sabbatical year. But perhaps the Zohar sheds light on the sabbatical year. Maybe we should be focusing so much on the land as much as we should be focusing on the farmer. Torah tells us you're not permitted to work the land because Torah wants the farmer shouldn't be working. It's really not there for the land, it's there for us. We need the rest. We have to rest up. God gave us a sabbatical year so a Jew can dedicate himself to Torah and mitzvahs. The 7th year comes around, we can't work the land. We have to remember, back then, what was work? Work was working the land. They didn't have computers. They didn't have many other things that we have now, modern technology. So primarily when you rested, if the land rested, then most people didn't know what to do. Or at least the workload was a lot easier and not lighter. And that's what Torah wants from us. We should remember, just like when the 7th day comes around, it's a day of rest, when a Jew dedicates himself in a much stronger way to God through Torah and to observing the Shabbos, etc. So too, sabbatical year is here to remind us that we have to dedicate ourselves to God in a much stronger way. So when we read a portion of Behar and Bechukotal, we have to tell ourselves it's time for us to take a step back for a moment and tell ourselves, listen, the 7th year teaches us a great lesson. The land rests and we rest. When a Jew rests, he studies Torah. And God bless us all to fulfill the mitzvah of Shemitah in the promised land of Israel with the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu speedily in our day. Shabbat Shalom to you all.